So today I'm going to cover a little bit on how you can use property to have passive accumulation for your retirement funds. But why property? Based on my previous video, I've mentioned that property is one of our necessities in life. Secondly, it's one of our biggest purchase. Thirdly, due to the land scarcity in Singapore, property prices are generally on a rise. Last but not least, based on property, we are able to leverage a lump sum of money. So just now I mentioned about land scarcity. So based on whichever flat that you own, be it HDB, private condo, or landed, you see that the property prices are always appreciating. Of course, based on the correct property selection. So for leverage, I'll explain using a comparison so it's easier to understand. So on one end, I have the fixed deposit at about 3.5% annual versus property at a growth of 3%. Using the same value of 250k, this person would have earned about 8 plus k. While tapping on the same amount of 250k, using the loan to value or LTV of 75%, which translates to 750k as leverage. If I plus these two together, I'll be able to afford a 1 mil property. So taking into consideration of the growth of 3%, I would have earned around 30k. So you can see based on the growth of these two is very distinct. Before I go on further, let me explain more about LTV, which is loan to value. So how it works is that based on 5% down payment, you can take up to 75% loan as leverage. But of course, based on two criteria, that the loan tenure cannot be more than 30 years. And secondly, the sum of the tenure plus the age of the borrower cannot exceed 65. If not, it will go down to 55 if let's say it goes beyond 65 or the loan tenure goes beyond 31 years. So even though there's a lot of pros in property investing, but then again there are also its cons. For example, buyer A at 35 years old, after getting a 30 years tenure loan, can get up to 75%. But then again, for buyer B at 40 years old, if you want to get the same LTV at 75, he can only get a tenure of 25 years, which means that comparing to buyer A, the monthly installment will be much higher. Same thing for buyer C at 45 years old. To get the same LTV, you can only get 20 years tenure, and this would mean that you will need to pay more installment. So the cons for this is the timeline. For every Singaporean, we have limited time to get the 75% LTV. So this is the con of property investing. So to put things into context, let me give you an example. For couple A at 30 years old, they bought the BTO and they decide to age in place, which means that they will stay there till their retirement years. Meanwhile, they maintain their lifestyle by traveling or buying a car. Compared to couple B, where they bought a BTO, but once it reached MOP, they cashed out to reinvest into another property. And each time they does it, they earn themselves a few more bags of income until they reach their retirement years where they buy their final home and they age in place. As you can see that couple A leads a comfortable life while couple B leads an uncomfortable life. But then again, comparing to life after retirement, you can only imagine the image of retirement for couple A and couple B. But then again, investment is not just about living a luxurious life after retirement, because what's more important is estate planning. For example, couple A, after N years, they passed away with a BTO and some of the savings. So all this will be passed on to their kids. Versus couple B, after N years of investment and saving, they passed away with maybe a private property or landed property. Of course, with their investment portfolio, all this will be passed on to their kids so that they can progress in life. So if I were to quote Warren Buffett, the rich invest in time or the poor invest in money. With that, I have come to the end of today's video. If you have any queries or questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me via my handphone or social media. If not, I'll see you in the next video.